Welcome everybody for coming to attend our Sunday series, where we have two special people who are going to lead each a 30-minute class today. First is Rob Brew, and he is a fourth dan he's from Scotland, Glasgow, Scotland, and he's the chief instructor at Senshin Dojo. And he's a fourth dan from the Aikido of Daily Living organization, and he is a third dan through the Aikikai. And then the second class is going to be taught by Jude Blitz, who is a sixth dan and a member of the Boulder Aikikai, has been a member of Boulder Aikikai for a bunch of years. So we have a couple of great people who are going to teach. And just to let you all know, I'm going to mute you all when we start. I'm going to spotlight Rob, who's going to be teaching the first class, and he's going to unmute himself and get going. If you all have a Joe or Bocan or some sort of stick-like thing, that would be appreciated. And we would appreciate everybody participating and moving their bodies rather than sitting and being a voyeur. If you have any questions along the way, Rob says he's happy to take them during his time. So feel free to unmute yourself, ask a question. After your question is finished, mute yourself again, please, just so we don't have any extraneous noises or anything like that. Okay? So I'm going to mute you all. Yes. And Rob, without any further ado, please, if you would.
Hi all, can you just give me a thumbs up that you can hear me?
Where is he?
Yeah, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, no?
I'm
Yeah.
trying to find you. Oh, there we are.
Have you got me? You can pin me if you want.
I spotlighted you for everybody, so we're good.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. And that's great. I can see myself now. Right, okay. Welcome everybody. Welcome to my home here in Glasgow. Well, just north of Glasgow, actually. It's a few miles north of Glasgow. I'm about 6 miles away from Loch Lomond. So it's a nice, well, overcast afternoon now. It was sunny this morning. So I hope the sun is shining wherever you are. I'm the head instructor at Senshin Dojo in Glasgow, and the main modus operandi of our approach to Aikido is Aikido with the body. Aikido is a body system. We're very much interested in the internal dynamics of the Aikido movement in conjunction with Aikido fundamental movement, okay, for example, kata. We have many influences of fundamental influence for the last of a while now. Has been John Byrne Sensei in Chishin Dojo in Coventry in England. He is a student of Keita Sensei, and he's also a student of Mike Sigmund, the internal arts teacher in Colorado. So we are very much, our approach is to move with our body, and using the Aikido kata as a vehicle to explore how we move both internally, how we drive, okay, with our center, as well as being grounded, and link that into the Aikido movement. Can I just say right from the beginning, though, we do consider our Aikido as a martial art, okay? We're not doing a kind of a softer style of Aikido for a kind of dynamic movement. We do dynamic movement, but we very much looking at Aikido as a martial art, but with a connected, educated body. So I'd like to just say right from here, I've not taught or been on an Aikido mat now for 7 months. So if this is a bit clunky, I apologize. All we've been doing really to keep our Aikido alive here for our wee dojo in Glasgow is just 2 weekly Zoom classes. So this is great. It's great to see the wider community here. Thank you, Lisa Sensei, for the invitation. I know that you're going to be going literally towards the end of the seminar, so I'll just say thank you very much, and you have an invitation back to Scotland anytime. Well, I am
looking forward to it.
No problem. You have been before, so okay. So let's start off with an exercise about softening the lower back. Our approach to Aikido is to maintain a good solid foundation. And one of the ways that you can do that is to make sure that your back here is nice and soft. Now, I'm asthmatic and a lifelong asthmatic, and I do have a slight curvature in the spine here. It was very pronounced, okay? But due to exercises taught to me by various Aikido teachers and internal martial arts teachers, as well as yoga teachers, I'm able to try and now soften the back. So you can do this either sitting down, you can do it standing up, but I would prefer maybe that you can try and do it lying down on a soft surface. I'm only going to do this for a few moments to give you a nice indication of how to soften this back so that we can get grounded and centered, because that's the main lesson intentions and objectives today. So I'll just move my screen a wee bit. So I just put back down a wee bit to here. So I'm on the floor. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, so you want to lie down nice and flat and make sure, okay, that your back is nice and flat on the floor, and then bring your legs up and have your hands down by your sides. Now we're going to do some basic breathing and a square breathing. You're going to breathe in through your nose and out through your nose or out through your mouth. The choice is yours. When we breathe in, I want you to push your belly up towards the ceiling, or if you're sat down, your belly pushes forwards. Hold it, okay, and release it on the exhale, and push your back into the ground, or push your back backwards if you're standing or kneeling. So inhale, upwards, exhale, downwards. Inhale, upwards, hold, exhale, downwards, hold. And just flow like that for a couple of seconds. Relax your shoulders and your head as well. Now, so that's 1 is going up and 2 is going down, or backwards and forwards. Okay, let's have a look at 3 and 4. We're going to breathe up through the spine. For 3, hold and exhale down. And as you go down, you're going to tilt your pelvis slightly under. Do not lift it off the floor. So it's breathe in for 3, through the spine, and then exhale, tilt your pelvis. Inhale up through the spine, release your pelvis, and exhale out, and tuck your pelvis in. And do that a few times. And so slowly but surely, you're starting to soften up the muscles in the lumbar part of your back. Now let's combine 1 with 2 and 3 with 4. Remember, 1 is up, 2 is exhale going backwards, 3 is breathing up through the spine, and 4 is tilting your pelvis. So 1 up, 2 down, 3 inhale up, 4 exhale, turn your pelvis. 1 up, exhale, 2 down, inhale, 3 up. Number 4, turn your pelvis. So 1 up with the belly down towards the floor as you breathe out. Inhale, belly, breathe up through the spine towards the head. And then exhale and release. And on the exhale, tilt your pelvis. Do it 2 more times in your own time, please. Okay, I'll just put myself back up here. Sometimes you see people who've got a very pronounced extended back or lordosis here, and these are exercises to try and soften that so that when we get a good connection to the ground via our center. And I want to talk to you about this, an egg cup with an egg. The egg cup represents, okay, our pelvis, our pelvic girdle, our pelvic basin. And at the bottom of the pelvic basin is the sacrum, which supports the weight, okay, of the body as it goes through the legs into the sole of the foot. The point of the egg here is our whole center, So the egg is now pointed and settled in deep into, okay, the egg cup, as our center is deep and settled into, okay, our sacrum. That has to be nice and tight and heavy, with the weight kept underside. Now, one of the things about, okay, the egg cup and egg is that the egg sits down deep in the pelvis. So here is the pelvis, the pelvic basin, and inside the egg is a yolk. Inside this egg is a yolk. And this yolk is able to move as the egg itself is held deep and heavy in the pelvis. So this tandem ball, this egg yolk, is able to move, okay, in all directions, all planes of movement, 360 movements, whilst inside the pelvic girdle. Does that kind of make sense to most people? Yeah? Good. Now, we're going to do an exercise, okay, using a Joe staff, and I'll just move back a wee bit. So if you can stand, please, and let's have a look at a centering exercise with the Joe staff. Now, have you ever seen when buildings are, like skyscrapers are being made, big, large buildings, okay? Their foundations, okay, the underbuilding part of this, okay, they have these big pillars, and out of the pillars, these come these metal protruding kind of poles or wires, okay? Well, that's what you're going to do now. You have to imagine that the sole of your foot, there's a wee hole, and it's going to go all the way up through your lower leg, through your calf, okay, as you stand on it. So you're going to create a big firm foundation, one side and then the other. In doing so, okay, you're creating a good connection to the ground. Now, this is where you need also to make sure that your back is nice and relaxed. The other thing I'd like you to do is make sure that you're not bracing and standing up like so. Relax and bend your knees. So you've got a good foundation to the ground, and with your Joe staff, we're going to create a triangle, an equidistant triangle, the same distance between, okay, our ankles from the left foot to the Joe, and for the Joe back to the right foot. And you can settle your weight, okay, nice and heavy into your pelvic area. The Joe staff is just giving us a nice triangle, which, as we all know, is a very strong shape, particularly for engineering. And we're going to engineer and create a connected, heavy, centered body. And it's okay to to push the Joe staff down, okay, with your top hand, just lightly. But please make sure that your shoulders are nice and soft. Now we're going to do an exercise where we're going to move, okay, our tandem ball in our pelvis, okay, forwards and back and side to side. So this is what it looks like, okay? Here. Number 1 is to the front, number 2 is to the back, number 3 is to the left, and number 4 is to the right. Now you might see some of these exercises taught, okay, in your own Aikido journey. So if you've been taught this before, fantastic, great. A great opportunity, okay, for further development and greater practice, okay? But this is something that we often train with in the dojo. Sometimes we use a Joe staff, sometimes we just do it, okay, as we're standing. With the Joe staff, let's make use of it. Okay, so number 1 is we're going to push our tandem ball, okay, up, moving it slightly forwards, so that it rolls up to the top of the pelvis and it's slightly being pushed forwards. So that's the feeling of like number 1. So number 1 is the tandem ball is going to move up to the rim and slightly add a bit of weight, causing it to tilt. And then you're going to drop it. And number 2, roll it up the back of your pelvis to the Mingmen, okay, and hold it there on the actual rim of the pelvis there, and then we're going to drop it. And same for 3 and 4. So we're going to create this cross. So let's try that as an exercise. We'll do it a few times. This is a really good abdominal workout. And after a while, okay, it will become second nature. So let's get ourselves centered. Let's let our weight settle into our pelvis. Our nice relaxed knees allow the weight to go to the soles of our foot. And we have a nice relaxed lower back. Okay, so number one, we're going to sail a ball up to the pelvis. So 1, and then drop it back down to the center. And number 2, up to the back, and then roll it and drop it down to the center. Number 3, I do realize I'm a mirror image of you. You're going to go to your left, up to the left, and then drop it down to your center. And finally, on the crisscross, go all the way up, swinging it all the way up to the right, and then drop it down to the center. So that's the kind of crisscross, okay, direction of this tandem ball movement, okay, in this kind of horizontal plane of movement that we're doing now. So let's try that a few times, shall we? So 1, center, to the back 2, center, to the left 3, center, roll the ball up to the right, center. Let's do it again. 1, center, 2, center, 3, center, 4, center, 1, center, back 2, center, to the left 3, center, 4, center. And can you do that, okay, 4 more times on your own, and I can have a look and see what people are doing. Good, Andrew. Jude, it looks good. Jamie, well done. Julian, looking good. Kay, excellent. Nick, good. Okay, can I just make one critique? Some people, okay, as they're moving it forward and to the back, to the front, and then to the back of the Mingmen here, okay, this side here, okay, your shoulders are slightly coming up. So you're moving up and down in your vertical action. You're creating like a bobbing movement. Try and relax your shoulders and keep them down. So let's go for another couple of more times, shall we? Do this together as a team. So 1, forwards, drop center. To the back, 2, drop center. To the left, center. To the right, for 4, drop. 1, drop. 2, center. 3, center. 4, center. One more time. 1, center. 2, center. 3, center. 4, center. Okay, so you really don't want to be doing this too much. That's why the Joe staff is here, to stop you from moving too much up and down. This will keep you, okay, reasonably grounded using this triangle shape. Now, what I'd like you to do, okay, is we're going to extend this and we're going to go in, okay, we just done crisscross, okay, now we're going to go diagonal cross. So we've just done this. And now we're going to move on, okay, for 5, 6, 7, and 8. So these are going to go on the corners now of that cross. So let's try that. Okay, let's get ourselves nice and comfortable and grounded. Remember, no bracing of the legs, nice and relaxed here, as if your torso is resting on this shelf here across your hips. So the weight is nice and deep in the pelvis. Okay, now we're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8. So we're going to go on a diagonal cross. So roll the ball up to number 5, drop it center, 6 behind you. Okay, center, 7 on the front right, drop it down, and finally to the back, okay, of the left corner for 8. So 5, center, 6, center, 7, center, 8, center. 5, center, 6, center, 7, center, 8, center. And can you do that 4 times on your own, please? Okay. Now we're going to put all 8 movements into one practice. Center yourself, let your weight go into the soles of your feet, nice and relaxed here, as we did at the beginning of the class with our breathing. Okay, 1, center, 2, center, 3, center, 4, center, 5, center, 6, center, 7, center, 8, center. 1, center, 2, center, 3, center, 4, center, 5, center, 6, center, 7, center, 8, center. 1, center, 2, center, 3, center, 4, center, 5, center, 6, center, 7, center, 8, center. And again, can you do that in 8 directions? Okay, can you do that 4 times for me, please? Okay, good. Okay, and just for luck, just do it one more time. 1, center, 2, center, 3, center, 4, center, 5, center, 6, center, 7, center, 8, center. Okay. Now we've moved our center, okay, onto the rim of the basin at the front, at the back, at the sides, and the crisscross as well. This time, what we're going to do is we're going to roll a bowl onto the rim of the pelvic basin, roll it round once, and then drop it down. So we're going to go in and roll and tilt our pelvis in the direction led by the tendon, and then drop it down into the center. Again, let's use our Joe staff for structural support. Okay, 3-legged triangle. Okay, so we're going to bring it up to 1 and keep it there and roll it round and then drop it. Bring it up to the front, roll it round and drop it. And use your imagination so get the body gets a feeling of it. So number 1, roll it round the rim and then let it come back down the center. Number 1, roll it round and drop. Number 1, roll it round and drop. And do that for me 4 times, please. Take your time and try and be accurate and precise with your movement. Okay, economy of movement here. You don't want to be doing all sorts of swaying things. You're doing it slowly. There will be a slight swaying of your abdomen or your hips or your waist. That's okay, that's natural. Using large, okay, muscular movements here. And initially, in the foundation of this. Okay. Once you've done that, and you're quite happy you've done your 4, I'd like you to go anti-clockwise. Go the opposite direction you've been going. And then play with it. Okay, maybe going round, back and forth in different directions. But you start off with the number 1 here and go around the pelvic basin and then drop it down into the sacrum. So you're rolling this tandem ball. Kathy, that looks really good. Keep it going. Andrew, good. Nick, good. Okay. Right. Now I'm going to work on an exercise, okay, which is to move the center in a clockwise manner and an anti-clockwise manner. And I want to show you this, okay, if you can see it, okay? We're going to go clockwise up from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. So have your Joe staff, okay? So stretch out your arms, be centered, relax your back, and where you naturally come down, okay, where you come to a nexus point, they often talking about 2 inches below your navel. That's what I kind of feel it. And the Joe staff is placed, okay, one end of the Joe staff is just lightly, okay, placed there. Now what we're going to do is we're going to bring the Joe staff, okay, using our center, I'm going to go down and up to position number 3, and then let it roll up to number 12. And then this is the most important thing. When you're at position 12, don't try and work the other side of the circle. There's only one side of the circle, the semicircle, is active. The other side is passive. So we go all the way up to 12 and then let it go for gravity 6 and back up again. And then you can start to work one side, okay, of the circle. While the other one is just gravity, lets it come down again. Again, try and not bob up and down. Try and keep your posture when you're doing this. This is slow abdominal center building exercises. It's got nothing to do with the arms. I'm not doing this with my arms, okay? It's my center, okay, which is the end of the Joe, represents where my center is moving. This is a good abdominal work exercise in itself. This, okay, if you do this a few times, okay, 10 or 15 times, you'll start to feel it. Yes, good. Well done. Yes, Andrew, good. Good, John. Okay, let's have a look at going the other direction. We're going to go counterclockwise. So we're going to go to position number 4, okay, and raise it up to 12 o'clock and let gravity do the work. So you're only working one side of the circle. Hello. Hey. Okay, guys, give your bellies a rest for now. Okay. Now, one final thing is to look at maybe an Aikido kata technique, Sokumen Arimanagi. Okay, kind of the historical movement is to kind of do that. We don't do that practice at Senshin Dojo. Okay, we try and move, okay, in a connected body movement. As we come through this way, we tend to move with like a body, like moving like a cylinder, so it's still connected. You can use the Joe staff, okay, to help you educate your body, okay, by moving your center, which is the fundamental driver in this kata. Okay, so nice easy tip for you: stand, okay, in hami, and have the Joe staff in your left hand and holding it, okay, closer to the bottom of the handle, down the hilt here. Now with the other hand here, okay, we're going to go 90 degrees. So you're going to move 90 degrees, okay, and have the Joe staff still in front of you as you bend your legs. Okay, and begin the circle, and then from here, just let it drop and put your body weight on it. So you're going to fold from your center here. Now you should have your right foot forward. Your other hand, come on in, collect the center of the Joe, raise it up as you turn your center, and let gravity and body weight bring it down. Okay. Let's do left hand side. Okay, come round 90 degrees, turn the Joe, turn yourself, and add body weight. Get back to normal posture. Okay, control the center of the jaw, around, turn, add gravity as you fold, like you're taking your hat off. So it's this kind of movement. And the main driver is this going round here as you're moving with your body. So put the jaw down somewhere safe that you're not going to trip on it. Okay, and let's just do a few of those movements, okay, that you may want to work on. I say we don't have a class at the moment where we can make physical contact. So this has to be done with your imagination. Somebody's going to come in, side side hand grab, okay? So you're going to step on in and offer the hand to be grabbed. So it's not the front hand, it's the back hand that comes to be grabbed, okay? And then do your movement. Offer the backhand and do your movement. Remember, both hands are active, front, side and back are active too. So the whole body's active and connected in the movement. Okay, can you do it 2 more times, please? For some of you, this might be different in how you normally practice, but it doesn't matter. It's moving together. And that's it, Andrew. Well done. Okay. So this is establish a connection whilst rotation. Okay, add gravity and then keep your body weight on it. Establish a connection whilst rotation, add gravity and keep your body weight on it. Okay. Good. Okay. One final thing before I wrap it up. Okay. Is moving from your center, okay, always is your main fundamental driver here. If you can and you can find the space to sit down, that's fine. If not, just watch and I'll try and explain what I'm trying to show you. Okay, I have my feet in front of me here. There's 2 fist distance between the back of my ankle and my shin bone. My hands can be on my knees, or they can be in front of me, or they can be on the floor at the side. I'm going to do a rolling backwards and forwards exercise, okay? But what I don't want to do is just throw myself backwards, okay, without caring about it. It's going to be done with my center. And what I'm going to do is make sure that my sit bones, okay, are connected to the ground. I elongate my spine, so soften my shoulders, my head slightly forward but slightly down, okay, and then I'm going to bring up my tandem ball up to position number 2 here, and feel it, and then just let it topple yourself, let your legs go up, and let it come back down again front, and settle. So bring it up, and this breaks your own balance, go with it, the ball comes back down to number 1, and then let it settle down again. So the main driver of your movement is the movement of your tandem ball that connects to the back of your pelvic girdle on the rim and topples you. And let it, and just go with it. And bring it round and up to number 1 and let it settle again into your sacrum. Keep your chin tucked in so you don't hit the back of your head, okay, as you're going backwards. So be mindful of that. Slow and precise movements. Okay. I think that's my time done. Is Lisa Sensi still there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. So just to review, guys, okay, we've been looking at how to use your center, okay, to drive your movement whilst grounded. And we looked at the crisscross movement of the center using the tandem ball exercise and a little bit of kind of yoga breathing, okay, circular breathing or square breathing to call it, okay, to soften up the lower back. So there's a lot there to unpack. A lot of it you may have been seen before. A lot of the practice, okay, we've got from many established teachers, and I thank them. I think we thank Lisa for the invitation. And it's good to see some familiar and friendly faces, okay, from the UK here as well. And if I've never seen you before, yeah, you're looking good.
Thank you very much. Rob, thank you very much for this class. And